Hi there, my name is Drew, and if we haven't met before, welcome to ReadyBudgetGo. If this isn't your first time visiting my channel, welcome back. I'm glad you're here either way. It's Friday, so it is time to do my weekly money roundup, or the weekly reel as I call it. I am going to dump out all the cash that I didn't spend this week. I'll go over all my spending and all my saving, and recap all of my triumphs, all of my mistakes, and every dollar that came into and out of my life this week. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do the cash dump first, as always. So I'm going to close the budget binder for now, move it over here to the side. I have got a few pennies to put into my coin pouch for the week. There should be 6 in here. Yep, because I went to the cheesesteak stand 3 times. So in they go. And I am probably just going to leave this change as is and bring it all with me to my new home. But all of the bills I will be taking back to the bank before I leave town. So speaking of bills, let's see how much is left over in the spending envelope for the week. We have 5, 10, 15, 16, and 17. And that is consistent with going to the cheesesteak stand 3 times because it's $11 a pop. So $33 from 50 leaves me 17. If you're new to my channel, I give myself $50 in cash each week of guilt-free spending. And whatever I don't end up spending goes to fund my Thursday videos, which is the Treasure Island Savings Collab and Happy Mail Jail. So that is going to go into here, along with all of the other money. I was keeping this separate and doing it by month, but to be honest, with the big move coming up, it's all just kind of going into the same pile. So that goes back in here, and then we'll close that up. And I need to take out $50 for next week. So 5, 10, 30, and 50. Yep. We'll be in week 2 of April because my budget weeks run from Friday through Thursday. So this is the end of week 1 and start of week 2. Okay, so that is all set up and ready to go. We're done with all of the cash pouches, so let me set these to the side here. Get the budget binder back out, and let's talk about all of the money that changed hands this week in my life. So first up, I didn't do any spending for the big move yet. Well, beyond what I've done already. But like I keep saying, that will be coming. Speaking of which, I have realized that I budgeted $300 for the week of the 24th, when realistically, all of the money that I spend that week is going to be coming out of the big move savings. So that $300 is probably going to get spent this week, this coming week, and the week after on takeout. I think I have probably cooked my last meal in this house, and I'm starting to pack things up. So, and I also don't have a whole lot of time. I do enjoy cooking, but I just don't have the time right now. So, going to be a lot of DoorDash and a lot of takeout, but it is what it is. Okay. No income this week. That is as expected. Paycheck 1 will hit on the 15th. So this time next week, I will have a paycheck deposit to share. And then bills. So this week, the only one that came out was Quantum. YouTube Premium I have scheduled for the 6th, but sometimes it comes out on the 6th, sometimes it's the 10th, and anywhere in between. So last month it was on the 10th. This month it might be the same story, who knows. But that $16 is budgeted for whenever that happens. I am also, let's see. So I'm recording this on Thursday before I get my hair cut, so I will have this filled in next week. But other than that, that's it for bills this week, was just that one. Stockpiles, I did put $100 toward my sinking funds and $705 towards savings, which right now is just the big move. And then $302.16 for wallet spending, so that came in on target, but like I say, the next 2 weeks are going to be big. And then but the week of the 24th will be a zero, because I will be spending money that week, just it's coming out of a different pot. Okay, so let's skip this. And cash flow. So these are just the transactions that went through my checking account. Rent, water, sewer, garbage cleared for $1,893.87. That is the highest I've paid since I've been in this building. Quantum fiber internet, $75, as I described before. And a couple of credit card payments, one for $1,100 and change, and the other for $2. So that is all of the activity in my checking account. And then in terms of the expenses, they're all food. That's the only thing that I'm spending money on really right now. I'm not trying to acquire any more things. I will have to do like a Target run or something like that to get more garbage bags and cleaning supplies and things like that. So that'll probably come out this next week. But for now, for this last week, everything was food related. Weekly cash, I always record $50 regardless of how much I actually end up spending, because once it's out of the bank, to me, it is a sunk cost. So that is it for spending for the week. So let's talk now about savings. And there's not too much to share here because not too much has changed. So emergency fund, still fully funded. Don't plan on touching that, but I will if I have to for the big move. I am prepared to spend a lot of money on this move. I have I have 3 different accounts now set up with money in it for the big move. But if I need more than that, I will spend the emergency fund. I will carry a balance on my credit cards for a month or whatever it takes. Okay, so savings tracker, emergency fund, fully funded. Blip fund, we are not yet doing. And now we're getting into the funds or the accounts that have money in it for the big move. One of them is the monetization tracker for YouTube. That is 1,000 subscribers. I am at 945 as I'm recording this, so thank you to all of you who have subscribed. If you haven't already, I would love to have you as a subscriber, and I will save $5 if you do, because each one of these represents 10 subscribers and $50, and that is tracked over here on the Big Move subscriptions. So I'm at 4,700 right now, so this would be 48, 49, and 5,000. Whenever I get there. And I may not get there by the time I move, and that's okay. In fact, I probably won't. That would be asking a lot. But once I do, at some point, whatever point that is, I will continue filling this in. And if the big move happens and I don't need more money to set aside for that, I will put the money toward another goal because it's important to me. Okay. The other part of the savings tracker for the big move, here is the books. So this was when I was doing savings challenge books and my Tuesday videos and things like that. I have spent out of this account so far. That is pretty well frozen at $36.93. And the reason that it's frozen is because this is in an account that is difficult to access by design. And I am going to need to start spending more of this money soon. So I didn't want to keep putting more and more into the vault, as I call it. I need to keep it more readily accessible than that. Hence, I have another savings account at a different financial institution, and that is what is getting the money currently. So that account is up to 2010 plus $36.93 here. So we're, let's see, at 5,700 plus 4,700, so 10,400. Excuse me, and that is all set aside for the big move so far. I think that'll be enough, especially considering I've already spent quite a bit on the big move, but we'll see. We'll just see. I'm not going to know for sure until I get to my destination and I add up all the receipts. I know that gas is going to be a big expense. The car rental is going to be a big expense, all the hotels and everything. So plus food and any incidentals along the way. So, but that's why we save, right? That's why we set money aside and why we chase our big dreams, because this is a big dream for me. So anyway, that is all that I have for this week. So a nice shorter video, not even 9 minutes yet. Well, it's going to hit 9 minutes about now. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And especially if you come through every week, or if you're brand new, welcome. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll save $5 if you do. And until I see you in the next one, take care.